Stop, am I on? There we go. Pick Central. December 2nd.
That's correct.
December 2nd. Cyber Monday. 20% off the Barstool store. Also brought to you by DraftKings. The Emirates NBA Cup is here, and you can win big getting in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Will LA repeat? We'll find out soon. There's sure to be rim-rattling slams and no-look passes that bring the crowd to their feet. Get behind your favorite players and prop bets that you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right. Pretty eventful NFL Sunday yesterday.
I think we got to start.
Yeah, we got. I think Saturday is a bigger day.
Right.
Saturday might be.
I was trying to get our guy off the hook.
No, this guy, I didn't. First of all, I do blame Meek Phil for even saying anything in the group chat.
Of course.
Before about Georgia to Ev. I want to say something first, and then I will give you the floor for your. This is the worst loss ever in your history, I think. In anything that you've ever watched. I think this is the worst because it was almost a lose, not a lose-lose, but like if the Ohio State wins the national championship this year,
Right.
it doesn't like it just it matters.
It matters a lot.
No, but it's negated from the Michigan right there. Like they're like, well, we beat them and we were awful. You know, like it. I understand, but it does. Like for the rivalry, you have to think about the rivalry. They have one game a year. They've won 4 years in a row now. This was the year that they're number 2 in the country, and this was like the spread was minus 20, and they lost.
Scored 10 points.
But they scored no points in the second half. Ev, I want you to
Should have been worse too. That interception.
Get your feelings out there to the crowd.
I tried, for the record, I tried to get you off the hook.
Nah, you have to talk about it first, because how can you talk about anything else?
Yeah.
No, it was the worst loss I've ever suffered in the history of watching sports as a human being. Losing championships wasn't as worse. Losing a World Series game on errors isn't worse. This is the worst. It was the lowest I've ever felt. It felt like a dream as the game was happening. It literally felt like a dream. Like it was like, oh no, this like, and then even in the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, you're like, all right, like now I'm sitting there stomaching like now it's gonna be like an embarrassing win.
Yeah.
Like I'm like we're gonna win. We're just gonna like barely win. It's gonna be like still embarrassing. And then it's starting to set and we're like, oh my god, like we're gonna lose. We're gonna legitimately lose the football game outright. Yeah, it was the lowest I ever felt as a fan. I was in a dark place, still in a dark place. I don't even know how to stomach it. I can't stomach it. I can't like. I've just wanted to hide. Like it just the worst thing that's like one of the worst things that ever happened to me. I genuinely don't like it was. It just because it's everything. It's like it was like the game was a layup. Like the game was literally a layup, a wide open layup. There's no business losing the game. To come with the roster that we had at home and lose that game to that team that literally can't throw a forward pass, was missing their best cornerback, their best offensive weapon out of the game. And you let them somehow win. You somehow let them win the game. They scored 10 points. They didn't score in the second half. They didn't pick up a first down the last, I think it was 20 minutes of the game. We insistently ran the ball up the middle into their two best players, or their two defensive tackles, both first-round picks. Our starting center went out a week and a half ago. Left tackle went down earlier in the season. Line's banged up. Not the strength right now after losing those two guys. And we just insistently just wasted plays running right into the teeth of their defense. Got nothing out of it. Chip Kelly, that was one of the worst called games as a play caller I've ever seen.
Moron. Absolute moron.
Ryan Day's soft. The team's soft. And it's not even the physically soft. They're mentally soft. Mentally weak. I said coming into this year, I said I would give Ryan Day one more year. And and that's more me than anything than he's the coach of my team. I have to I got to go with him. I said if he coming into this year, if he didn't beat Michigan, didn't win the Big Ten, I'd be out on him. I couldn't be more out on a human being than my life. The amount of embarrassment and just shame that he's brought not only to like me, but just like Ohio State as a university, as a program, as like a football program. It's stunning. He's a pussy and a loser, and genuinely, they need, like, right now. If you told me you could losing in the first round of the playoff would guarantee that he's gone, I would sign up for it in a heartbeat.
That bad, huh?
Because as him as the coach, I guarantee we will not win. There's like if we couldn't win this game, like he's a mental midget. He's soft. No man has ever been more right than Jim Harbaugh. He was born on third base. He's never built a program. He's never developed a program. He got handed an A+ program, and now has brought it down to like a B+. Like he's literally it's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
You literally can't name a big game he's won.
He beat Penn State. He just always beats Penn State.
Yeah,
That's
which is
never,
more
like-
of an indictment on Franklin.
And I want to something I want to address.
Franklin, you think Franklin's winning that
hold on,
championship?
hold
By the
on.
way, no chance.
What?
That's
Hold on.
That was crazy.
Yeah. What are we? I'm doing a diatribe here. So
All right.
I
I'm just saying.
need you to stop. I need you to stop talking. Because this part I need to address, because this is the thing that always gets like the Ryan Day like believers are like, oh, he's 60-10. I could have held the clipboard and won those 60 games. Like, you don't get credit because you always beat Michigan State and Purdue and Illinois. Like, you're supposed to. Like, you don't get, oh, he's 60-10. No, any game that was even like remotely a coin flip, you lost. And how do you feel about like 90% of the ones of those games that he lost? You came out of it saying, damn, like we should have won. We had better talent. That's even worse. He gets the least out of the best talent. He's a bad football coach. He's just not a good football coach. He's not cut out for this. Ohio State deserves better. They need better. It's that simple. It is that simple. He has to go. Has to go. And the way that the AD that our ADs talked, who was the former Texas A&M AD only just like a couple years ago, he basically said very similar things that he said about Ryan Day, like basically yesterday or last 2 days, that he said about Jimbo Fisher right before he canned him. So I'd imagine a lot of what they're doing right now is he's got a $37 million buyout. They got to get this thing figured out. We got to get this money up. We got to get this guy out of here. I at least hope.
What if he wins the national championship?
I was gonna say, yeah. Like,
That's the only way. To me, that's the only.
what if he gets there?
No, I think
Not good enough.
I think he's
Really? If he gets there, they go on a run. He gets there and they lose.
Not good enough.
Oregon, or whatever. And
Not good enough. Not good enough.
but is it good enough? Not for you, but is it good enough for the school? You know what I mean? Would they keep him?
Maybe, but I would go into next year not supporting him.
So that's all fair.
I would go in next year just saying. I was saying I'm going to say something like loaded roster, head coaching will hold us back.
I think everything you said was fair. I think that Ryan Day should be fine. I think nothing's worse than losing, having wind burn on your face like that. Just looking like
Just think about this. Think about this too for a
he was
second.
wearing makeup.
Think about this for a second.
Nice rouge.
He's been the head coach of Ohio State for 6 years. He was obviously handed the baton after Urban Meyer, winning championships, literally undefeated against Michigan. A couple of close ones, usually pounding Michigan, like beating the brakes off them, even in years where it was close. The first year, even that I was at Barstool, we were 4-point underdogs at home, and we won like 62-39, like embarrassed them.
Yeah, he was dominating them.
Dominated them for literally his entire tenure. He never lost to them. He was someone who understood what the rivalry meant. I mean, you can think about Ryan Day, like I said, 6 years. This senior class, 4 years. Never beat Michigan. Never even went to a Big Ten championship game. He can't develop anything. He gets 5 stars. Anyone with an Ohio State emblem on their hat as a coach can get 5 stars.
So you don't give him credit for that. The players.
No, zero.
Okay.
If anything, the opposite. He got 5 stars and didn't develop them right. And Urban Meyer, his whole philosophy on coaching, winning football, is when you recruit these kids out of college. Listen, you're Ohio State. You're gonna get 5 stars. You're gonna get everything in between. You're gonna get your 1 stars or your like no stars. That listen. At the end of the day, realistically, what they are for practice. They're tackling dummies. They're their bodies. You have 5 stars. Some of them, they're elite guys no matter how you coach them up, how you develop them. They're just elite football players. They're better than everyone. They're just going to win. You have the guys in the middle, the 2 stars, the 3 stars. Winning football programs and developing and building football programs that win national titles, compete for national titles. You take those 2-star, 3-star kids, you coach them up, you build them into 5-star talents that end up going on to be first-round picks, NFL players. Day has no ability to do that. He takes 5 stars and gets the absolute least out of them possible. He's soft. He's weak. He should not be the coach of the team.
Yeah, I mean, he rightfully is pissed. Rightfully is
It's
pissed.
that simple.
But the caveat is you're still in the dance.
Sure.
It's not a caveat, though. I just explained that.
It is a caveat, though. This is.
Ev, do you not agree? If you win a national championship, obviously
of course.
it's good,
No.
but
Listen,
you still have that fucking.
Yeah.
No. There'll still be like it'll literally still have like this when it comes to the rivalry. Like I was literally talking to Greer about it before. I was like they go on this magical theory that I doubt is gonna happen because Ryan Day is not capable of doing this.
fair.
But if they go and win the national title, it'll literally miss like we beat you still at home
Right.
with our shittiest team.
We're 7-5.
Yeah.
We literally were 6-5. We were 6-5 coming into the game.
What, they have 80 yards throwing?
It's 60 yards throwing the
Yards
football.
throwing the football.
Couldn't win.
This is weird, though, a weird loss in that, like, it's a crushing loss, but it's weird that it's not the loss that ends your season. You know what I mean? Usually in
Well, that's
sports,
why
your
this
crushing loss
that's
is the
why-
last one.
But that's why this fucking playoff, everyone loved it. We're getting Alabama's in. I'm telling you.
maybe.
I'm telling you.
Very close.
They're even.
Plus 100.
They have a good
to win.
chance.
Brad
Yeah,
made a
Mitzi.
great point last week. Brad's like, it's a TV show. They're in.
Yes, no, they're.
No, but listen, there's
if
a
I'm
decent
betting, which I
chance.
will
There's a
bet
decent
probably.
chance.
There's a. The odds are telling you that it's even. That with 3 losses are
Right.
even.
That
it's
says
fucking
something.
Insane.
There's
And they're
also
gonna
gonna
get
be-
in.
But the only thing is that SMU. It's really them and SMU is really the two. SMU is a slight favorite to win the ACC title game. So if they win that,
Who they playing?
Clemson.
Clemson's going to win that.
So if they win that, they'd be like the auto bid. Like they'd be like a top 3. They'd be like probably the 3. They would be the 3 seed. If
yeah, but then wouldn't I only think one ACC team's getting in?
it's more if Clemson wins and they basically are like a bid stealer. Then the argument would basically be SMU or Bama. That would be.
And
I think it depends. I think it truly depends the way it happens. Like if SMU loses on a last-second field goal, I think it would be, in my opinion, it would be ridiculous to put Bama in over them when they had 3 losses. When SMU had really 1 loss, the conference title game, I think Greg Sankey, who's the SEC commissioner, basically has said how it is nonsense if you play in a conference championship game. It should not hinder you because they literally are playing an extra. They're playing an extra game that they earned that they literally not going to play. And let's talk about Bama's losses. The last one, Oklahoma's 7-5. They lost to them by 30. That's ridiculous. If SMU loses 1 game early in the year to BYU, who ended up being a 10-2 team, you lost by 3 points in September, and you didn't lose another game the rest of the year.
they have 1 loss. I said.
And the only thing, and that's
The
that.
ACC is just
The only thing that Bama has over them, which is just crazy. They have literally 2 more losses. They just beat Georgia. They just have better wins. Obviously, they have better wins. They
That's
beat
the
Georgia.
problem.
They beat LSU. LSU's not even that good of a win, but they beat LSU.
Who's their other? They have another good win, no?
South Carolina? Did Alabama beat South Carolina?
They beat South Carolina,
Yeah,
which aged well. And really,
But ACC.
South Carolina's the team that's kicking themselves because they lost to Bama by 2 on a 2-point conversion. They got hosed against LSU.
Yeah.
And if they win any of those games, they got smashed by Ole Miss.
Who's Bama's 3 losses?
Which they lost to fucking Vanderbilt.
Right, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. They got Tennessee.
Right,
And they got smashed by Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Where's Ohio State going to be ranked?
I'd guess
9 or 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
I'm gonna guess 7. I'm gonna guess 8.
Notre Dame.
That's the one.
Which 8 is fat because 8 you'd actually still get a home
I was going
playoff.
to say, how does that work with that? So,
8 is 5, 6, 7, 8 home
so they're
playoff.
likely to not get a home playoff if I.
They're literally, I think, on that line.
Okay.
They'll be
Right
truly
there.
the 8 or 9 probably. They'll probably be
Notre
in that
Dame
game.
Gets the 5.
That's the one I was.
Notre Dame
interested
probably will get the
with
5.
Georgia.
But or Oregon, if they lost to Penn State, they would be the 5.
If Georgia,
100%.
Yeah.
if
And
Georgia,
I think if Penn State loses a close game, there's an argument for them to be the 5. But I think they'd probably lean with Notre Dame. But there's an argument. The only thing hurting Penn State is they just didn't beat anyone.
That's the problem.
But the thing is, Notre Dame didn't beat anyone either. The A&M's their best win. They lost 4 games.
Yeah.
That's better than I think anyone than.
No, it probably is.
Yeah, Penn State really has.
their best win is Illinois.
Which is a top 25 team still. I don't know if you
By the
honestly,
fringe,
Honestly,
yeah.
Brett Bielema low key dragged his nuts on Lane Kiffin.
I saw that.
It was an all-time tweet.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw.
All-time tweet. He was like, "We literally had a better thing schedule. Our losses are better."
Yeah.
You're just yelling at SEC.
One more thing about you, your team. Obviously, Ryan Day. I think everything you said was right. Everything you said was perfect. Will Howard and McCord right now, and I think McCord got a lot of shit last year.
He did, no doubt.
A lot of shit.
He did,
And
totally.
This team is more talented, correct?
Ohio State's team?
Yeah. Than last year's?
I would say like about at least the same.
I think the defense got better, right?
Probably. The defense is probably a little bit better.
They're still like
no.
offenses.
No, they're probably like you could make an argument they're like a little bit better. Sure.
McCord also went to Syracuse, who is not a great team,
Yeah.
and he played well. And Will Howard was god awful, and I thought he could play good enough.
That's where it's like I think we need to just take everything into account because I think Howard was bad. I mean those picks were insane.
But also,
But I think we need to keep in mind that Kyle McCord literally did the same thing in the Michigan game, and that was why people wanted him out. I think the bigger problem was not moving on from McCord. It was that they didn't like fully upgrade. They made a essentially lateral move to a guy that maybe you're gonna make an argument was a hair less thrower, but like could run a little bit more and had a little more experience like running an offense, even though he makes the dumbest mistakes. I like Kyle McCord, and I think he should have had his day in the sun. Like I totally get him feeling so vindicated after a day like that, 100%. Like seeing us score 10, lose, because Ohio State shit on him. So he has every right to feel that way. I really have never even wanted to trash him, even through like him having this good season this year. But I also would like to keep in perspective.
He did the same thing.
He did the same thing in the Michigan game, and this man threw 5 picks against Pitt. They got blown out. They lost to Stanford at home, like where he threw multiple picks. Like let's not act like he's winning the Heisman. And Will Howard was like god awful all year. He was bad. Listen, Howard was bad in that game.
But Will Howard's been.
He's also had some like good games. He has had some bad ones.
He's been fine.
I was waiting for this tweet to come. This is where I won't like. This is what Phil or Dukes is on. What this supposed to
That's not what I. You think I have that memory?
No, I know Meek does. This is the only thing he thinks about.
I saw a Greer quote tweeted. So
what we're not talking about is,
that's how I found it. I didn't know.
I really thought that his. I'm always going to ride for my guys until I have a reason not to. Because I think there's too many people just saying, "Oh, like McCord's not the problem." I just think they should have identified like a bet. We're Ohio State. Like Cam Ward should have been like the guy, like someone like that. Like he basically settled for he basically said, "All right, like this is going to be my guy," and he made the wrong choice. Like, and that's another knock on Day for like just bad talent evaluation. Like deciding on Will Howard's going to be like the guy that gets us over the hump. Because
I also thought that
clearly he was not.
The Chip Kelly was okay. You last 2 minutes, you have a drive in the first half.
Yep.
You went down the field in maybe 40 seconds.
Yep.
Touchdown.
Easy.
By doing what? Throwing the ball on the outside to their corners who are dog shit.
The first drive of the game, they marched straight down the field throwing it. They ran it once they got inside like the 15, got stopped, kicked a field goal. Went run, didn't do anything. And last drive of the half, bang, 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 right down the field, throwing the ball, touchdown. Just like it just felt like it was so clear. It just felt this is where I think they're mentally soft. They don't even have the mental like fortitude to be like, listen, who cares that right now, like on the line of scrimmage when we're on offense, they're winning right now.
Yeah.
We don't need to sit there and be like macho and just run it right into their fucking face mask for no reason, just to like waste plays. We gotta throw the ball. We have a clear advantage. Our receivers, their corners, clear advantage. We have 3 thoroughbred receivers in Smith, Egbuka, and Tate. 3 studs, future draft picks. 2 of them probably going in the first round. Like, throw these guys the fucking ball. Let them cook. That's how you win this football game. You don't got to be macho because they were more physical the last few years. Because and there's part of me that's like feels bad. Like they got burnt on the last drive, but again, even like the defense I thought played well. Like they played hard. Like they made plays, even though like the one like Sawyer made a good play, but that was also like the worst throw like I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that there was a point in time I can't remember. I think it was the second half, early in the second half, where we forced 6 3-and-outs in a row, and we never did anything with it. We never got the ball back and scored 6 3-and-outs in a row.
Was anyone watching the game with you?
Yeah, my dad.
Oh, poor bastard.
Yeah. I mean.
So, Ev,
he's in the trenches with me.
Let's say you guys get knocked out in the second round. I think it's pretty reasonable.
Honestly, I've actually said the script. I think that's exactly what this is what's going to happen to Ohio State. They're going to win that first round game. Maybe they won't. They might not even do it.
Yeah, let's say they do though.
But I think what happens is they win that first round game.
Yep.
They're going to play that second game. They're going to lose close in a game that you're going to come away from it leaving. Damn, Ohio State could have won that game. If this is how this happened. That is the epitome of Ryan Day.
So let's say it's Fire Day.
Yes.
Who do you want to take over? Your program is one of the top of the top, one of the most prestigious programs in the country. Who is available out there that you want to coach your team next year?
So there's a few. There's obviously the big floating around is like the obvious Ohio State connections. Like one, bringing back Urban Meyer.
I've seen that a lot.
Two, like a Mike Vrabel, which I think he's going to be an NFL. If Mike Vrabel wanted to come, I'd be for it. I just don't. I don't think Vrabel. Giants too. I just think he's
always so many jobs in the NFL.
I think he's an NFL guy. I think that's where he goes.
More work at the college.
I don't know what they would do outside in terms of like coaches that have built other programs that they want to come in. That I'd be curious to see where they're at on that. I'm not really sure where they want to go there. I guess I'll say the easiest one would be promoting Brian Hartline to the head coach.
So you'd be okay with internal?
Which I would be in favor. Like if there's someone from the outside that's realistic that I think would be better, I'm all ears to that. I just think more realistically, Hartline would make a lot of sense. Like he's a guy who, at least with his role in the team, has been elite. He's a guy who's born and raised in Ohio, played at Ohio State. He's a grinder. He's a tough, like just gritty guy, like just a leader, like confidence. I think he exudes a lot of the things that Day doesn't have. He played in the league. He played in college for Ohio State. Was a baller, but also just like known as like you said, like a grinder. I think he brings that kind of like lunch pail mentality, that like physical toughness, like work your ass off, like no bullshit, no excuses, no fucking crying Ryan, like none of that shit.
Urban Meyer,
I think he would make a lot of sense.
Urban Meyer surprised me a little bit just because Jacksonville was such a flame out. He was lazy. He didn't even know people's names. It seems like he was checked out. Now,
no, that's
now he's even older than he was.
No, that's part of my hesitation.
The game has changed too with the NIL.
NIL has changed, but I also there's part of me that's like maybe we almost need some of that, like less of this coddling bullshit, and more just like either get in line or get the fuck out. Because my thing is, like I said, I'm not giving Day respect for bringing in 5 stars. Literally anyone could do that with an Ohio State logo on their helmet, where you'll get 5 stars, and people will be like, oh, you might get guys that are already recruited to leave, or guys that are here already stay. Who fucking cares?
The guy
if they don't want to be here because like Day leaves, then all right, then leave. The new guy will bring in new guys. Like it's that like
who gets the new job, that job. He literally, his only job is just like to win that game.
Yes, that was his only job. Because Day took it for granted because fucking he was there with Urban at the end. With Urban, it felt like it was like he beat them such to a pulp that fans, it almost felt like it was like you knew because the intensity on that game was literally like no other, like this is the only game that matters. That's it. Like we'll go and that's why with Michigan winning this game in this way, the season they had was literally almost better than them being like good. Them being bad and just like this was a like perfect script for them, like following a national title season.
100.
Be bad and then just beat Ohio State when they have national titles aspirations.
1,000%. This is almost.
It literally was better. It was better than them being undefeated.
It's gonna be better. This is almost better. Like this feeling is almost better than winning a national championship.
They won with house money.
Crazy.
They won a game they were supposed to lose by 3 touchdowns.
Like when you're plus
on the road,
and then
on the road,
this team is supposed coming into the year. Everyone's also saying Ohio State. This is like one of the best rosters there are. Urban
Meyer said himself he thought it was one of the best rosters he ever seen in college football.
They spent a lot of money.
on
people
this
stayed
roster.
that could have left.
A lot of guys in the senior class stayed that could have left. And honestly, like it's almost tough because you don't want to like disparage them, but at the same time, like it's sad to see that like this senior class about to graduate, like their 4 years at Ohio State will legitimately be a black eye on like the program.
Not if they win it all though. And I know that.
Yeah, but now, like you've already
hard.
seen this team.
I hope to God with every fiber.
You gotta win.
I hope with every fiber of my being they do. They're not going to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
they're just not. They will fuck it up.
They'll have to play.
If they could fuck up that Michigan game, they could fuck anything.
That's
up.
why I can't argue.
It was a fucking layup.
Yeah.
It was a layup.
How many wins?
You need 4 to win it all.
4 to win it
You don't
all.
have a bye, so 4.
Yeah,
so
no buys, obviously. So 4 to win it all.
Season.
4 tough games.
They could
4 games.
and also is 2 are at the actual someone's home, right?
No,
Only
just one.
Only the first one.
First round.
Which it's crazy to think that Ohio State
People that get a bye don't get a
No,
get a home
it's
game.
neutral. It's
That's
neutral after that.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
that's.
because it's technically the like bowl game start.
Yeah, but they should
after that.
get a home game if you win.
I mean, they get a bye.
TV show. They
but-
want
I mean,
that.
getting a free
yeah.
pass is better than a home game.
No, 100%. I thought
It's more just money for the university, but
That's what I was talking.
that part I guess you miss out on. But I mean, the team itself, you'd rather get a free
1,000
pass.
you went to. I meant money like people like Notre Dame's would make a ton.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they literally made this playoff structure for Notre Dame, and of course the first year they get perfectly. They land like in the exact. It played out exact. They played an easy schedule, like the easiest schedule. They literally lost to a
bad MAC team.
middling MAC team, and still ended like it's unbelievable.
Hey.
They literally don't have a good win. They don't have a win that you can like hang your hat on. Like this
Remember
is
when I bet I said to win a national championship for the year
I
because
took Oregon.
it was so. No, that's great. I'm saying Notre Dame just because it was such an easy schedule
And they were in good shape too, right?
in great shape.
You know, Ev, when is the next Ohio State game?
we don't. It'll be like the first playoff game.
So you guys aren't in the I'm sorry, I'm
No,
terrible.
no.
I'm with the-
So and this is where too like where
that's tough to come off.
I
that,
won't.
like, you know
I
what
won't.
mean?
I definitely won't say like we got screwed. It was just more the way the scheduling worked out. We in the Big Ten played like the hardest schedule.
Yeah.
Like basically of the top 4 teams of like Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana. Ohio State played all 3 of those teams. They all only played Ohio State.
Right.
So we obviously screwed ourselves like by losing to Michigan was like the issue.
So who's playing Oregon versus
Oregon, Penn State, even though we beat Penn State, but we have 2 conference losses, and they only have 1. They just lost to us. That's it.
tough to. You got to kind of have that taste in your mouth for what a
But
month
that's
now.
we don't because I thought things were trending in the right way. We're like, all right, we're gonna like win.
Yes.
We're gonna go to Indianapolis and play Oregon again on a neutral site for the Big Ten championship game. Like I was thinking, like we might play this team 3 times. Like in my head before this weekend, I was thinking like we're gonna win. We're gonna play them in the Big Ten title game.
Maybe
and then
4 to 5,
even regardless,
8.
like basically the winner of this game is gonna be the 1 seed in the playoff. The loser's probably gonna be the 5. So either way, you're in like a good spot. And then there's a very good chance I thought that we'd see them again, like either in the semifinal or like a national title game.
It's just so funny. The
Quarterfinal.
playoffs are so unfair.
Semi, yeah.
Like it's so unfair that like Notre Dame never has to play a conference championship. You know, like
That's why I don't think you can hinder SMU. It's like it's not fair.
They'll be like it's not fair. They'll be
not
like it's
fair.
not fair for them because they can't.
SMU
get a
has
bye.
better. SMU has better wins than Notre Dame does.
People will say Notre Dame. It's not fair for them because they can't get a bye. It's like no, they'd rather like
They literally set it up that way.
set it up for that. They could join a conference if they want to.
I literally got fooled because when it first happened, I was like haha, like fools, like these
Yeah.
fools. And then the more I was like looking into it, I was like getting in fight, and I was like, oh my god, like they actually like
Get a home game.
they literally like set this up like perfectly for themselves.
Yeah.
Fucking they just have the big brand. Like they just
You talk about conference championships like not being penalized. The one that, and don't get me wrong, they're one of the 12. I think they're one of the 12 best teams. I don't really know anymore. I think they are. I'm pretty confident they are. But what do you guys think about Georgia?
if they lose.
If they lose, they will have had
have-
3 losses
they have to
and
still-
not won their conference.
But it's not. But it's that 3 to me is not a real 3.
What
It's
about
like a 2.
Alabama?
I don't think. I mean, Alabama. But the problem
why
with
it's not- that's
Georgia,
why it's not
Georgia's
fair.
Georgia is better than the rest of the other options. That's the problem.
Why should they be penalized for losing a 3rd game in the conference championship?
That's
Georgia-
what
I think
that's
Georgia will
what
still be
like,
in.
that's what came back. Like everyone, I asked the question. I'm like, if they lose, are they out? And everybody kind of was
your
like,
question is like reasonable.
That's what came
It's
back.
something that a lot of people have
that
talked
was every reply. Like they shouldn't be penalized. They shouldn't be penalized.
You're
Yeah.
like, that's what everyone was literally
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
So why'd you ask the
No,
question?
but I genuinely don't think you're.
They will have
You
had
got the
3
answer.
losses and didn't win their conference.
It's a
I'm
fair
just
que-
saying, what do you think about
It's
them?
probably like the tough. It's one of the toughest schedules I think I've ever seen.
Without a doubt,
Can I
It is.
penalize them for eating 8 overtimes to beat Georgia Tech?
that too.
They won.
They
But
won.
I want to penalize them now.
Okay. You can
All right,
do
you
that.
can personally. I don't think they can.
Absolutely, Phil. You can do whatever you want, buddy.
My personal rankings, I'd have them off the top 12.
Oh no.
Damn.
Hope they don't hear about that.
Yeah. I mean,
Just form your own playoff.
Kirby Smart. He's gonna get the material now. But here's the odds to win it all.
It's almost annoying seeing that.
Just pull up. Where'd you get that? Mincy's Twitter? Or you got it from DraftKings?
You guys missed it. I pulled up when you guys were saying Alabama would make
saw
the
it.
We
playoff.
saw it.
Mincy might have moved the line because now
Yeah.
Alabama's
Yeah.
favored to
Yeah.
make
What are they?
minus 105 now.
Okay, I moved just a hair, but yeah, I mean, it's
they're
worth.
gonna
No, I think it's
Ohio
worth-
State still being 4th is
tied for 3rd.
Mincy moves the
tied for
lines
third.
better than he moves out of North Carolina.
Because we have a loaded roster on paper.
Ev.
And also,
they
no
just
one's
won't get it
that
over the
good.
hump.
Like, there's no one that good.
Like we saw Michigan, like Oregon, like we went into Oregon and like really
Oregon's
like
the
had a
best
chance
team
to win the
this year.
game. You know what I mean? Like
They're not immortal. They're not immortal.
No one
no.
is. That's what we're saying. I think that Ohio State can definitely still win it because no one is like.
They're
that
capable
good.
of it, but they won't.
course.
Like they're physically capable of it.
Yes.
But Day will mess it up. Unfortunately, Will Howard will find a way to mess it up.
Do you think Will Howard was concussed on Saturday?
People have asked me that. I don't know.
I would hope he wasn't playing concussed.
I would hope not
Yeah.
either.
I
Obviously,
almost hope he was because he was so bad. It's an excuse.
but even honestly, the picks were like before that.
True. That's
I
right.
can't remember if the second one was before or after. It was almost right around. I think it might have been before actually, but
How happy you didn't have to stream that game with Dave.
At least you would have got something out of it. You know, like at least it would have been like, at least you got some content out of it. You had to sit in his sorrows for 4 hours.
True, I guess.
although
Go outside. He had to
Obviously
step
it would suck.
outside. He had to step outside his house. That
Yeah.
was so
Yeah,
when
so
he,
it's
when he
right-
started and it
right-
was silence,
would be
I was
like-
like,
Out of his garage. Very
poor
sad.
bastard.
Yeah.
I was like, this poor
Yeah.
bastard.
Breaking
It was,
news.
sad. It was a sad scene.
Feeling it.
I mean, I just was like, I literally need to like go get like fresh air. I mean,
Yeah.
just-
You
I went back inside and didn't come
good
outside.
friend
for-
by me. I didn't text or anything.
No, I didn't.
You
Yeah.
know, I said it. I was saying to
No,
people
I-
like usually like the last like few years like when you lose when it's like you're both really good, you lose like a tough game, like a lot of texts, a lot of calls, like zero.
Yeah.
I wish to
Literally,
get luck
it
before
was
the game.
so
Because if
it
I
was so
texted,
bad.
that means you're
Legitimately,
making fun.
my phone couldn't have been drier after
Yeah.
that game. Literally, no one
Wouldn't
talked.
you
to me.
rather that though?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you have wanted us to bother you?
No.
No.
Unless I
The
should-
only calls I got was the Dave FaceTime, and then maybe like an hour or two later, Lawan FaceTime, and we talked for like 5-10 minutes. But with Lawan, it's more like we chirp for like 2 seconds, then we start talking like rational ball. So we just sat there and talked ball for like 5 minutes. I just was like, I couldn't. He just agreed with everything I said. He was just like, I just can't believe it. He was like, because I talked to him in Chicago. We were talking a lot about it like during the week last week.
Do you think Ohio State should forfeit any paychecks for Dave bailing him out?
I hadn't thought about
There's
that. I honestly forgot that was a thing.
There's breaking news
What's that?
from the Ohio State message board. OSU message board has solved the case.
Read it.
I have a well-connected friend in the Bay Area that says Larry Ellison is a big 49ers fan and became very close with Chip Kelly and Ryan Day when Chip was the 49ers head coach and Day was the QB coach. I think there needs to be an investigation by the FBI into Michigan's new billionaire booster paying Chip and Day tens of millions to lose the Michigan game on purpose.
That's why the internet is undefeated. Like, it's
It's one of those things I wish I could like laugh at like the college
Ev's
football
face,
message
by the way,
board.
when I said breaking news in the Ohio State message board, he was like, holy shit, did they fire him?
yeah.
I knew there was no way because
Right.
No, they're not firing him. They're still competing
but
for a
he,
championship.
playoff
he
right
had a
now,
look on
but-
his face.
How
immediately.
awesome would it be though? They fired him. They
I would love it.
won a
I would love it.
championship.
I would love
The
it.
the worst thing for you guys too is like I saw you, Tate, like all Ohio State fans like chirping the Michigan guy who like stubbed. You're like, oh, he stubbed his toe. He can't play in a rivalry game.
Yeah, I
and
did,
They
yeah.
still won.
Yeah,
It's so. I would have done the same thing. Like obviously.
I mean, it was the.
But it is
I mean, it was
funny.
the McCord thing was even more that like them beating Miami like on
Oh
the
my
same day.
God, yeah,
it's
no.
like the almost where he led the nation in passing yards this year. Like it's just one of those things. Like it's just a meme. Like the Ohio State fan. Like, it's just literally been like a meme, a perfect meme storm of like everything that could go wrong has went wrong, and everything that like every decision they made was just like the wrong one.
Yeah, we need to move on. But last thing, what is your thoughts on the flag stuff?
Thank you. I was about to
this
ask
year?
that.
Because this year was, as a fan, fucking awesome. I think you're.
Unreal day for flags.
So I go back and forth because
Unreal.
I think
Cooper?
you had the chance to defend this happening to your own field. You know,
Yeah.
like you had the 40. You had how many minutes? I forgot. I'm blanking.
60.
60 minutes to that was college basketball. 40 minutes.
Okay, all right.
That's my brain. You have 60 minutes to defend your field, and you didn't. I think you almost have to swallow it and let them do it. But I also still don't have a problem sometimes of them taking the flag.
Well, I think
go
it's
back and
like.
forth.
Well, I think in kind of this like going off the kind of like this meme like social media world, it's like. If he doesn't defend the flag, oh, they're fucking losers. You let them do that to you, you roll over and die just like you did on
Yeah.
the field.
Either way.
And if you go try to stop it, where was that fight for 60 minutes while you had your
100%.
chance? You know what I mean? Like, there's no. And
tough.
listen, I see someone like Jack Sawyer, who was obviously a big part of this. Like, he was kind of the main, like, a lot of close up videos of him being like kind of the main stopper to like start it kind of thing. This is a kid who was from Pickerington, which is like literally like in Columbus, like from Columbus, born and raised there. Went to Ohio State, 4 years, 3-year starter, like captain. Like could have went to the NFL draft, probably goes in the second, third round last year, comes back like literally to win this game, and you lose it like in that fashion. I would be in like I don't even know.
Only let like on a
I can imagine how I am.
Let,
I'm sitting on the
Right.
I'm sitting on the couch and I'm bewildered like this. I can't even imagine the guy put his life into this for the last 4 years, and to end in like that embarrassing fashion, I would be crashing the fuck out.
the Michigan guy.
I would
held
be
that
like
flag too for him, but he got that flag back. The Michigan guy, I don't know who it was. Yeah, he got it.
I mean, I think he dropped. He kind of like ripped
Yeah,
it.
he kind of ripped it and threw it down.
He kind of ripped it and
then,
like threw it. Yeah.
then he got it, and they all like went after him. It was something. But then it happened.
And no, but honestly, I think the worst part about it was when you see Day in the midst of it,
Yeah.
standing there doing nothing,
Yep.
with just looking like a fucking lost puppy. I was like, I mean, I wanted him fired.
I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Like, he is a grown
Have
man.
Maybe like go in there and like
get in the
hold
mid-
your
like, get
guys
in the
back, or like,
have
hey,
any-
like try to
Hold this guy's
Ryan
back
Day
is
has
probably
get in the middle of it.
yeah, be like, hey guys, like let's try to calm things
Day-
down. He just
Ryan
dude, just
Day-
stand there.
Yeah, he
He's
was
in
bewildered.
charge.
He did
He's
say like
literally in charge.
He was
pretended
lost.
and said he did say like I didn't know what was going on.
Right, you just watched
You may
it.
not know what's going on. It's right in the middle of fucking
Right
field.
there,
You
yeah.
blind?
That guy, and now there's been like rumor. I've been trying to like kind of dig on this with people I know. I've got nothing concrete, but there's been rumor that he was like looking at other jobs in the middle of the season, like almost planning like an exit plan because they wanted to be out. Like I said, I have no idea if that's like valid or not, but if that's even like remotely accurate.
Watching that from the sidelines, he was such a loser. Like he was just
Such
sitting
a
there.
loser.
He is a loser.
Oh, Winburn
He is a loser.
While these other kids are fighting for the school's integrity, he's just standing there like, all right, well.
And that's it. He's
lost.
He's lost. He's been lost. He just keeps getting more and more lost. And we have kids that I think were talented enough to win that he couldn't get the most out of them. He couldn't get the most out of this team. He just has to go. It's that simple. He has to go. He's not the man for the job. He's not cut out for this shit. He's not built for this.
Seeing Jack Sawyer crash out and Ryan Day just legitimately stand there in the cold was
Pathetic.
Wild.
one of the saddest. Sights.
That's like that should be like the picture of Ryan Day's like legacy at
I
Ohio
agree.
State. Like that's it,
That's-
right? Like he's a limp dick coach.
I do have one
Limp
question
dick,
about it.
no balls.
What did you think about like Jack Sawyer? Like when the Ohio State players were chirping Michigan players, like go enjoy like the Music City Bowl.
Well, they chirped first.
Right, no, for
Mason
sure.
Graham was like,
Right,
like
yeah.
Ohio State pussy.
But like go enjoy the Music
He
City
was like
Bowl.
Ohio State pussy, like kind of thing. And then, but it's almost like what at that point, it's almost like what I feel for him because it's like, what do you even say?
Nothing, I think.
But like you just let him call you a pussy right to your face and just be like, yeah, I'm a pussy.
I know the
like,
answer.
like,
The answer's no,
there's
but
like no,
yes.
there's no right answer. I agree.
I think
there's
Deuce is right,
there is nothing he could have said back that would have been like, oh, you got him. Like he lost him 4 years in a row. You know what I mean? Like what do you
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in that fashion? Like what do you? There's literally nothing you can say. You just lost. You took the most emphatic, embarrassing loss you could ever take. That just like toppled on 3 consecutive losses before that.
How many more times does Ohio State have to beat Michigan now to get it back to like? Because like if they win next year, it's still like you got them for that year, but it's still a little. You know what I
agree.
mean? Because like this year they had to win and then win the national championship.
Right.
And they could have done that. That's what everyone kind of thought was.
Ohio
gonna
State's
happen.
been so close. I think they have to win a title to get back to being the
if
fact
they
that
win-
Michigan won a
Even
title.
if they win a title this year, Michigan's still going to laugh at them.
They have to win a title in the next 5
It's
years.
like-
They have to win a title in the
listen,
next
I'm
5
trying
years.
to put myself. I'm like
Next five, maybe.
No one else will laugh, but Michigan will laugh.
I'm so down right now. I'm like trying to like get myself in like more in reality. Like, listen, if they won the national title, there still would be this like obviously this Michigan shirt. But if you're the champs, you're the champs, and I think even more so with the 14 playoff. Listen, if Ohio State is able to somehow go on this run right here, then they fucking deserve it. If you go beat fucking like,
Yeah, but that's also tougher though to say because.
no. But if you go beat
got
like,
in,
if you go beat
wouldn't have
like,
been in when Michigan won.
it doesn't matter though.
That's what they'll say.
It doesn't. But then, if you go on a run where like if this year the way things play out, it would be something of the ilk of like you beat like Tennessee, Georgia, Oregon, and Texas. Like if you go win those 4 games in a row, I don't give a fuck what happened. Like you deserve the national championship.
Yeah.
So listen, if they go do that, God bless them. I'll be the happiest guy in the world. I just don't see it. I don't think they have the mental fortitude, the toughness to do something like that.
I don't know how the team respects the coach, honestly. I know it's a small thing, maybe, but like him on the sidelines where they're all fighting, now you got to play for this guy in a month? Be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I just
Plus,
don't
he's 1 foot out the door, probably.
I just don't know how like I don't know how they could like it seems like there's all this like the players like him and this and I'm like if the players like then they're all wrong. They're all wrong.
Well,
Maybe
you can like someone, but maybe not respect them
I've liked-
as a boss.
I've liked some head coaches, and they were terrible coaches.
but he's not even likable as
guys.
like a
Good
he might
guys,
he
bad
might
coach.
he might be an okay guy to them. I mean,
yeah.
I've heard some things from like deep inside stuff that like that aren't great, but I mean, I don't know.
feels
And it's
like-
not even with like players in the locker room, it's more just like a lot of interactions with him from just like normal people that are like close enough that are like he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, who knows, but
Feels like no one respects Ryan Day, but
I don't respect him.
Rico, you know what people respect?
Omaha Steaks.
Yes.
They sure
That's
do
a good
respect
point.
Omaha
It's a good
Steaks.
point. I was waiting. Phil's the worst.
Wow. I mean, just
Phil
that
was
was
doing
good.
his
That was
job.
good.
That was a great.
That was good.
But I'm just waiting. I'm like,
Seamless.
what-
I mean,
what
that
is
was
he gonna?
incredible.
I have a question
job,
right after
Phil.
this. So
We do,
let
and
me-
listen,
It was so natural.
I don't respect Ryan Day, but I respect Omaha Steaks. Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. It's guaranteed perfection every single bite. Right now, you can save on unforgettable gifts with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, plus score an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS, PICKS. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages featuring gourmet favorites. Like I said, I love Omaha Steaks. Dad's ordered it my whole life. Get that big white box shipment of all these meats. They got desserts, everything. It's fantastic. Steaks, burgers. Burgers are phenomenal. From legendary steaks to mouth-watering desserts and more. Save 50% off site-wide for a limited time at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners, a little exclusive for you. Get an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. It's 50% off Omaha Steaks, OMAHA Steaks.com, and extra $30 off promo code PICKS. Minimum purchase may apply. God bless Omaha Steaks. The only good thing I go into
You
my
know what
life.
the worst thing in the world is around this time is the grocery store.
Yeah, get
Mob
it shipped.
scene.
Get the meat
Mob
shipped.
scene.
Very
Get
true.
that shit
Fresh,
shipped right
quality
to your
meat
house.
shipped to your house.
I went
Good
to
prices.
Target yesterday. Walked out.
Just mobbed.
It was mobbed.
What'd you expect?
No, I just needed something small, like not food or anything, just something small, like a shoe rack. I needed a shoe rack,
Oh yeah.
and it just was like I walked in. I said, I'm ordering this online.
Yeah.
I have a question for the group, and everyone can answer, besides Meek Phil.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I like this. I like it already.
You too. You can answer.
Okay.
Meek Phil can't answer.
Can't answer.
All right, Meek.
Hypothetically, if there's a MVP race, and someone's second in odds, can they be in the conversation?
No.
No.
Okay.
Depends who it is.
Want to
No.
make sure.
Depends who it is.
They can't.
Wait.
No
it-
cowards
wait,
allowed,
good.
right?
Lamar, if it's Lamar Jackson, yes.
Yeah.
But if it's
If Saquon Barkley is
Hypothetically,
plus
Saquon
200.
Barkley having a fucking unbelievable season.
If Saquon's hypothetically plus 200, can he be in the
No,
conversation?
obviously not. Clearly.
He's not going to win because it's locked up.
If he's not going to win, what's the conversation?
Oh my god.
Couldn't help himself.
I thought you weren't allowed to talk.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, that it locked up last night. Locked up. He has to really fuck it up.
Wow,
No.
minus 225?
He is it's
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying Josh Allen is locked
Josh
up.
Allen
Yes.
locked
Okay. I'm like, what are you
after
like?
last night.
Yes,
Josh
thank you,
Allen
yes.
locked that up. I mean,
right.
that play.
So
got the
Barkley's
primetime
gonna win that
play.
offensive player of the year, though, right? Whatever that you give everybody else.
Sure. Barkley's definitely going to win it.
Can I ask this question though? Are the Lions locked up to have the 1 seed? I'll give you the schedules right now.
No, because
I wouldn't say locked.
They're a game behind.
I wouldn't say locked.
I don't know how all the tiebreakers work, but I'll give you the schedules. Eagles, Panthers, Steelers, at Washington, Dallas, Giants. Detroit, Packers, Bills, at Bears, at San Fran, Vikings. Whose schedule would you rather have? You'd much rather have the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
then take them.
It's definitely easier.
One
It's
caveat
right there.
to that.
Plus
Rico.
190 to be the 1 seed.
If the Lions were to take the loss to the Bills, they would still own a tiebreaker over the Eagles, I believe.
Yeah,
because
because it's NFC losses, right? So you need them to lose to the Packers, basically, or the Vikings.
So that Bills game is, I'm not going to say it's meaningless, but it doesn't hold the kind of weight.
Right.
like the
Well,
other
it's
games
big if
do.
they lose to the Packers. I'm just
The
saying,
Packers one's big.
whose schedule would you rather have? You much
Oh,
rather
you'd
have
much
the
rather have the Eagles. Much rather.
I'm starting to think the Eagles might beat the Lions.
Eagles are good.
They're very
good.
Oh, they are.
Eagles are really
Run
good.
game gets going.
Also, I still think they're the 3, but I think we're sleeping on the Packers probably too. Packers are very good.
I mean, I don't think.
Packers are very good. I think
Hard
those
when you have
That
when you
road-
have to go
listen,
on the
no,
road.
I-
Yeah,
the
how-
two.
So hard.
Yeah.
Those are the 2, but I think they're like they're and I was even though I still think they're below as well. crazy. The Vikings are just 10-2.
No one's like we have to.
I still
think
think they are better. Like the Eagles and the Lions are definitely better than the Packers and the Vikings. But I think the Packers and Vikings, they're just playing so well and just keep winning. You almost just I think you have to at least mention them.
Yeah.
No,
when
you
talk the
definitely
NFC.
do. The Chiefs.
I think you have to at least.
I think the Vikings, that team, you make a lot of money on that first round when they get knocked
actually
out.
don't think so.
Listen.
We'll see.
Their defense is very good. Darnold is more than capable of making those. I trust the Packers more than the Vikings.
Who would their first round?
too.
I would put more stock in the the Packers.
I agree.
Upsetting one of those teams
Yes.
than
Give
the
me a team
Vikings.
right now. Who would the Vikings be playing if the season ended right now?
Vikings? I'm sorry. The Vikings would be playing the
A wild card.
NFC
So
West?
they play the toughest. They'd play probably
AFC
like
South?
either the Commanders.
NFC South, I mean?
Probably the Commanders.
They'd
find
be
out right
better
now.
than the
They
Commanders.
play the. Oh no! I'm sorry.
No, they would play the Falcons or Seahawks, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of it backwards.
It would currently be the
They'd be the
Falcons.
highest
Right
wild
now they
card,
play
so
the
they'd
Falcons.
They'd play the
I
highest
take
wild
the
card.
Vikings over the
Falcons.
Falcons.
They could beat
That's
the
a team
Oh
that
my
stinks.
God.
Falcons was a team that was a loser. They're
It would
fucking
be in Atlanta.
tied with Tampa Bay now.
Yeah, it'd be in Atlanta.
Despite the record difference, it'd be in Atlanta.
I mean, I'm still taking the Falcons are. They're not.
Tied with Tampa Bay. The only thing is they have 2 games ahead of them because they beat, not 2 games ahead of them, but
One
they
game
beat them
ahead.
twice. So
Yeah.
you have to beat
Tampa
them
Bay's gonna
outright.
make the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they
tied
could
with
win that
Atlanta right now.
division.
They
Well, here you go.
They get a home playoff game.
Well,
I love the schedules. Who's
Tampa Bay's schedule is so dog shit coming up. It's crazy.
They're right, Marty. They're
Las
right
Vegas?
there. Right for taken.
Las Vegas, at Chargers, at Dallas, Carolina, New Orleans. So
Horrible.
one hard game at Chargers. Atlanta, at Minnesota, at Las Vegas, Giants, at Washington, Carolina, who's not a fucking gimme.
They suck.
Carolina's not a game.
Carolina's not a gimme right now.
Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Right now, they're playing hard. They fucking just gave Tampa Bay a
They
fight.
literally just lost to Tampa on where game
I
that they
understand,
took the
but
lead.
they-
and the Chiefs. So don't sit there and tell me they're like a
They're
cake.
playing
I will.
better.
I'll
They're
tell you,
playing better.
they are deep in the bottom half of the NFL teams.
Well, they can't-
Agreed, but they're
well,
playing better football.
They're covering
Both
these
can be
spreads
true.
playing
like that.
better football, but
Both can be true.
I'm not
But
going to
you-
pretend they're good.
No, but no.
No,
you're
but they're
saying-
playing better football.
You cannot say they're a cakewalk if they're going to lose to 2 playoff teams by 3 points.
I think they're.
Literally on last second
I
field
think
goals.
teams also peak and valley. I think they're.
They also literally were about to win the game and then just fumbled in
Bryce Young has
overtime.
also been playing very well.
Really good.
playing
Like,
good.
well, much better, way better than he was.
There's an interesting debate going on. Who would rather have going forward, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud. I mean, what are we doing?
Come on.
Peter Stroud has
Literally no one's
It's
literally-
obviously
literally no one's
It's
debating
not a
that.
real debate, but we do need to talk. Cedar Stroud is a big drop off.
Took a huge step back.
I never sold my
huge.
Bryce Young stock, so I'm actually going to go Bryce Young.
I never sold it either.
I've never sold my stock, and I know I'm going to be called crazy, and it's the wrong side. But I would rather have Bryce Young.
I mean, come on.
I know.
Right
I'm
now-
not selling my stock.
Right now, you sound stupid, but I
Right.
do understand what you mean.
I was a young
Cedar
guy.
Stroud has not been great.
I was a young guy over a Stroud guy,
Bryce
and now I
Young
can
has
come
played
out of the
2
woodworks.
competent games, and now we're talking about him
And
being.
I'm
Yes.
not. I'm not
Yes.
saying.
Rookie of the year.
I'm not saying
He played
he's
2
right.
games, which he lost
I
both.
just said he sounds stupid. He sounds stupid.
Actually, 3. He's played 3. He
Look,
won 1, lost
This
2.
was like when I was like young over Stroud, and then it was like, holy shit, I can't be barking about this so loudly. But now I'm ready to say I'm still a young guy.
That's a team that is I'm making a lot of money off of in the playoffs.
Texans.
Yes.
Hard to argue.
They fucking they are not good.
So they're gonna get like the Chargers or like the Chargers, like the Broncos, or
they might get the
They
Ravens.
could get the Ravens, which would be bad.
well,
That's tough. So you're not going to make that.
Ravens would be
That spread's going to be wild. I think.
Yeah, they'll be
unfortunately.
I mean,
dogs.
dude, yesterday I know like the fact that they even let Mac Jones come back in that game is insane. Mac Jones is dog
Mac
shit.
Jones looked competent. In
That
that
was
game.
honestly
He's crazy.
He threw for 235
Yes.
yards, 2 touchdowns, and he came in what the end of the first.
Yeah.
That was huge. I mean, that would have covered by Mac Jones.
I did take the Jaguars.
Any,
so I was
any
excited.
Mac Jones slander I had, truly, I was like that because I went big on that one.
Yes,
That helped
me too.
a lot. A lot. That was massive.
They also have 3. Texans have 3. So they have the Dolphins next. Dolphins are not a rollover team.
Not a rollover.
Dolphins are not a roller.
I have something to
I'll
say
give you guys that
about
one.
As long as it's not,
though.
as long as it's not cold outside.
Could the
That's true.
Dolphins? Could the Dolphins turn into a rollover team now that they're out of the playoffs?
No,
They're out of it.
only if it's
They're
30
not out
degrees
of it.
outside.
All right.
No,
As long as it-
and
as long
that's
as
where
it's
you're
not
wrong.
They're out of
In
it.
Miami or in a dome,
completely
they're
out
not a
of it.
pushover.
I know. We're trying
out
to tell Marty that, and
They're not. That is not who are you blaming in that Dolphins game? Because I have a stat for you that it's not Tua was
it's a
not the
team.
problem. Okay,
No, listen. They muffed the punt at the beginning. That was,
Yes.
Muffed
they
the punt.
gift wrapped him 7 points. That was bad. That kind of just got him off on the wrong foot from the start. Also, I will say, I feel like a lot had some. NFL, it's tough how you decipher like what you consider like garbage time yards because you're down 2 scores. Like you are still kind of trying to win. So it's like
Well, the defense is
they are playing
back.
softer
Yeah.
coverages and all that. So it's kind of like
Tua played like I don't think Tua was the problem in that game. I truly don't.
He wasn't an asset.
defense was bad too. Like
Defense was.
but they also again like they got put in a spot where they got the ball in, like inside the 20.
So listen to this. The narrative about the Dolphins is of becoming a true narrative that they can't win, at least in that. A worse stat, this is Ryan Fitzpatrick that tweeted this. McDaniel is 1-14 against teams with a winning record in his 3 seasons.
I just want to say,
This tells me this as a bit of a front runner mentality, and when things get tough, they don't have it in their DNA. Maybe it's not the coldness. Maybe it's just that good teams beat them every time.
I've
They're
said that.
500 or less, the Dolphins win.
I've said it for 2 years.
1-14
bad teams.
is a
lot.
stunning stat.
When they play the Raiders and the Patriots, they'll win by 2+ touchdowns. But they get beat up when they play any team with a pulse. They lose.
Stunning stat.
McDaniel's not a good coach.
No. I agree.
I'm sure he'll be like a fine offensive coordinator somewhere. He's not built to like lead men.
I have good
He's
news
not
for
going
the
to get fired, though.
Dolphins.
Probably not. But I
got
just
hurt,
think he's
so.
not the. Yeah, I don't think he got fired. But I just think they'll never like go far with him.
The Dolphins' next game is versus the New York Jets, who made NFL history by being the first team to ever lose 9 of their first 12 games in which they were favored in.
Well, that's also a mistake. After a while, like why were the Jets favored?
I think
yesterday?
that is pretty crazy.
That's horrible. But why were the Jets favored yesterday?
Stay away from them.
No, but I'm saying that shows like they have so much like even just going on like Vegas, like they're like the way they operate, like they have so much talent. Like their talent just will continuously make them favorites in these games when we see that they just find a way to fuck it up.
Here's why the Dolphins aren't dead yet. Next 5 games: Jets at Texans, which the Texans are. Niners, who look dead. At Browns, at Jets.
How many games are they chasing though?
Winnable.
They got to win all of them.
A lot of win. This is the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dolphins
Big
gotta win all those
Broncos
games.
game tonight.
Yeah, Broncos game's big for them. They need a team because if the Broncos win tonight, all 3 AFC wildcard teams will have 7 wins already. I think they'll all 3 be 7-5, I believe. If they,
The Broncos are 7-5. They'll be 8-5.
they'll be 8.
I think every team will have 8 wins.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So they'll be.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch out for the Browns.
Are the Ravens 8-5? Are they?
8-5.
So they'll be 8. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
That's what you're saying. They'll all have 8
I'm
wins.
sorry, 8-5. They'll all be 8-5 after this.
Which is even more
Watch
damning.
out for the
Yeah,
Browns
yeah.
tonight.
You like the Browns? Yeah, we'll touch on
Watch out
that.
for
You
the
like the Browns tonight?
I like the Browns.
I hate betting when the fucking who's the Browns quarterback? Help me out.
Jameis.
I'm sorry. I hate betting Jameis games because he's so inconsistent. I never know what to do. I pull my hair out.
The 4 games he started this year, they either won outright as like decent underdogs, or they've got blown out, or they got two blowout losses and 2 wins over like play or like the
Everyone
best teams
is
in the
thinking
league.
that the Broncos. Everyone's now in on the Bo Nix stock. Right?
That's where I get. I'm gonna like.
I want to be the last guy buying that. I'm the last guy online.
But
this is prime. Also prime time.
Also fascinating. Bo Nix stat too, just for the gamblers, obviously us. I believe I think it's 5-0 this year against the spread as a favorite.
Interesting.
They've covered every game they've been favored in.
Wow. But the Browns.
But again, that's where I get torn because it's in Denver. The Browns just had like a week. They had extra week or extra like half week. They had a Thursday game and then had a full obviously week. So I'm like, and their defense I still don't think is bad. I think the Browns defense is like
Browns offense is bad.
it's bad. No, that's what I'm saying. But their defense is not bad. So that's where I'm like, could they muck this up?
They've only scored.
The Browns better. I'm talking about something new. Can they muck this up? I'm still undecided.
The Browns have only scored over 19 points twice all season. So the line is under 8.5. So I'm taking that for the Browns. They have, I said, they've scored 19 or more points twice all year.
Their line's what?
That line is minus 125. Under 8.5. 18.5. 18.5.
18.
I was gonna say.
I said 8.5.
It's a bad bet.
Sorry.
I was
18.5.
debating the under. I truly keep flip flopping in my head.
I can't. Even these other picks I'm taking. Like I'm on the Broncos minus 6.5. But I don't know. What if we get Goodwinston?
Yeah, you can get it. You can definitely
It's
get
literally Harvey Two-Face. You don't know which one. Are you getting good or bad? What am I getting?
I'm just worried that them going. I wish this game was in Cleveland. Like the fact that they're going to Denver. I don't know how much the out 2 matters. And also, good defenses at home are scary. Like Denver, that's a good defense, good pass, really just good on all levels. Good pass rush. I mean, Surtain might be the best corner in the league. Like they got guys everywhere on defense, and now you have to go 2 there and play that type of game. 6 is a lot of points. That's where I get hung up on. I almost was trying to find a way to almost like Denver, like teaser it in some way.
I know.
But there was nothing.
Doesn't make sense.
There was nothing I love to put like almost like Denver money line with like an adjusted under, like bringing maybe like a teaser like money line and like under like I guess it'd be like 48.5 or something like that. I was
just teased the Bills last night.
I was debating that. I saw a lot of people did that and they're feeling good right now.
I really like Cortland Sutton tonight to get a touchdown. It's plus 160.
Also,
Nix has been throwing him a lot.
I like Aldrich.
3 touchdowns the last.
Aldrich Estime to get a touchdown tonight.
Aldrich Estime.
Actually, you want to know what I thought about?
I'll ride.
You want to know what I thought about that tickled me? A Bo Nix touchdown.
Jerry's on that, so we have Estime and Bo Nix.
It was like plus
16-1.
like 280, I think.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with
Estimate's
that. He
360.
hasn't ran it. So when he's going
Tickled me a
good,
little
he
bit.
doesn't run. So like the last 4 games, he hasn't had a touchdown. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this game could get crazy.
Like
it's going to be.
It was one of those. There was
tonight's
no.
going to be a little bit of like muck it up. Like he's going to have to be scrambled.
Think so?
I feel like this game is going to be very ugly.
I don't know what to
Why
expect.
I like the Browns. I don't think it's going to be a very. I don't think the Browns are going to.
I can see the Broncos winning 34-7.
Give me
I
no
can't
touchdown
say. I don't
score
know
plus
why.
7,500.
What's that again?
75-1, no touchdown.
I'm close to that for a second. I had the first touchdown.
What an over.
Yeah, I can't believe the over.
That was like that. Also, that and the Jaguars having back to back was like, God, if like give me like, hey, like we can't give you every L.
Yeah.
You guys,
Like, you got to get a couple.
I had a question about the Ravens is 1. Like they have 5 lost. They're 8
Crazy.
and 5. Like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
and I know they started off 0-3, right?
0-2.
0-2. Like,
No, they're 8-5.
is that a team that you?
They might have to cut Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker is a problem.
What
You
a,
can't cut
I
him,
mean,
which is
oh my
unfortunate.
God.
You can't cut him because that'd be insane.
A year and a half ago, he was the best kicker I'd ever seen.
People were saying he was like the best player on their team. It was like he's the most valuable player on their team over their quarterback. Now he's miserable. You can't cut him because he's like a Hall of Famer. Like
You can
he's-
cut him. You can do
You
whatever you
can,
want.
but I don't think they.
I think you have. I almost think you
You have
have
to ask
tough
yourself,
spot.
is the replacement better? I mean, you know.
I almost think you have to ride him out for like
Yeah.
this season. It's like weird. I think. Listen, if things continue to be like, I think you almost have to give him the like next. If he just keeps missing like 3 kicks a game, then I think you make it.
also-
There's a better kicker out there. You have to cut him, but I don't know if there is a better
don't think
kicker
there
out
is.
there.
That's
the thing. I mean,
100%.
Jets, we just had tryouts, basically.
Yeah,
You know,
that's-
like there's not really a lot of options out there.
No, and then that's where I'm like, are you? I don't think they're that good. I don't know. Like, Zay Flowers is getting angry. But then are you like, is the Bills the best team in the AFC?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, they've been the most consistent this year for sure.
They've been good, man.
Really good.
He's
really,
been,
really good.
He's been that play was one of the coolest plays I've seen.
Awesome.
In the
I
snow.
can't say a team is better than the Chiefs until the Chiefs.
Yeah,
lose.
you can. The way the Chiefs
You see
are
the way
playing.
they played.
I think right
You could
now.
say- all right, you could do this.
It's not saying who you'd bet on tomorrow.
When it comes down to it, who are you taking in the AFC Championship?
and the Bills
Chiefs.
beat.
Chiefs, and I am taking the Chiefs as well.
different. Yeah, it's
But
That's
who's the
different.
best team
Yeah.
going into it? 100% the
Who's
Bills.
playing the best?
Bills.
Who's
Bills.
Bills.
Who's played? Not even
Bills.
playing. Who's played the
Also,
best this season?
I'm
Bills.
falling for it again. I'm going to take the Bills in the AFC Championship game this year.
I actually am too. Like I think I have the. I'm taking the Bills.
I-
to win.
I
I think
think
the
it's
Bills
the
will win
year.
the Super Bowl.
Someone always sneaks by.
They need. They need.
No,
Great.
no, the Chiefs always win.
They need the Chiefs to lose
What
once
always
the
happens.
Bills can get home field.
The
2
Bills.
years ago,
Who
they did
sneaks
it.
by? But
3
you
years
said
ago.
someone always sneaks by. Like who? What?
The
what?
Bills play at home against the Chiefs
No, they
this
haven't.
year. I think they can. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I
Which
think
they-
this is the year Josh Allen finally makes the championship game.
I do too.
Or Justin Herbert.
Oh shit, who put that there?
This wasn't me. This was Phil. I don't know why I brought it up.
Another loss.
I texted you this, but that was a great loss for the Patriots. If
Drake
not for
May
the
was
tattoo
awesome
bet,
yesterday.
but like
Great.
you guys looked great. Drake May, and
It's so funny. The coaching's so bad.
Yeah.
I gotta say this about the
Everyone's
Patriots,
right-
and I think
realizing-
you'll agree with me now. When I was so shitty about the Pat, when I said the Pats would be so shitty, I was right because I didn't. Who could have expected Drake May to be this good? And he exposes how horrible the Patriots really are because he's playing really good and they're still losing.
I think more than anything, it's coaching.
That's
Speaking
true.
of coaching,
I think the coaching is like so bad. Like the amount of times that he bails him out of like a 2nd and 15, like just because of like offensive
I
holdings.
get-
Like the holding and the false starts are insane. And the defense
can't argue
blows.
that.
The defense blows. It is what it is. Good job by Anthony Richardson.
Rico, did you get new contacts yet?
Yes, I did.
Eyes look good.
Yeah, look good.
They feel way better too. So
You would think
They look far less
wonder how
irritating.
well, that's a crazy thought. Ones that aren't dry
yeah,
feel good.
they feel good.
Crazy. Eberflus gets fired.
Yeah.
Oh
Should have
God.
happened. No matter what, that is on the head coach. But you gotta have a little awareness, says
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. A little bit. I don't think it's. He also did change the play. He said he's the one that changed the play for that. Like I'm not. It's on Eberflus. I want to make sure everyone knows. Eberflus, that is your only job. You're not calling the coach. You're not calling the plays. He's not, right? No, they have a new offense.
He's not calling plays.
He's
Eberflus
not
is
calling plays. I know there's other things, head coach. Your thing is that you need to know right then, take a timeout, or do whatever you need to do.
To me, Eberflus, like, even if he doesn't take one at the beginning, when it gets to like 15, like 12,
just take it.
I think, and you see they're still kind of like,
Absolutely.
you gotta just rip it. Like, listen, take your loss and basically say, hey, like, we're either going to run one play to a sideline, and if that doesn't work, then here we are. That's
He didn't hike the ball to it 7 seconds.
it was and then
But also, that's still
Caleb,
a little bit on Caleb.
but Williams to me,
I agree.
Like he deserved. You can say he didn't have the urgency. He didn't like him changing the play was probably not smart. Totally fine with that. I just think he's your rookie quarterback. He just took a sack, which even if you want to argue like he shouldn't take the sack, whatever. He takes the sack. I think in that moment, like he's in a spot where it actually got hit like pretty hard. I think almost like his bell was kind of rung. And he kind of had to like was scrambling around. That was literally like malpractice. Like I was not even a Bears fan. I was legitimately like angry, like watching it with like no skin, just truly like this is like some of the worst coaching I've ever seen. Have you guys seen also with Jalen Johnson after the game?
Yeah.
He was giving the speech after the game. It almost tried to like gloss over it, like, and their cornerback, their all pro or whatever Pro Bowl cornerback stood up and lost his fucking mind, and then literally was basically like cussing out. Was basically like, I don't know exactly what he said, but essentially was just going at him, and basically was like, "You're just like a fucking clown." Essentially, like you're a bad coach. And yeah,
bad.
and they were like essentially just killed him. I gotta go do a
Do the
rundown.
rundown.
Also, one
Your
thing,
pick today, Ev, I'm sorry for the game.
I'll tweet it.
Okay.
I'm leaning Browns, but I'll tweet it.
One thing on I think that Caleb Williams, I'm so woke to him purposely doing that. I was in real time. I was like, that was so bad. I think it was on purpose.
I wouldn't. I mean,
I think
that's
things
where,
move fast.
That's where I
I
get it. It was on Eberflus, but it's just like no one was saying anything about Caleb. I'm like, I get it. He's your guy
Yeah.
still, but Jesus, you got to have a little bit of an awareness
To go deep,
To go deep. I mean, did you see
Crazy.
the Duke game? That's what everyone said thought he was going to do. The Duke football game was the same exact thing.
Crazy cover.
It was
Perfect
a crazy
cover.
cover.
Good cover. If you had Duke, cash it. All right, so what do you got tonight?
I'm on the Broncos -6.5. I'm on Cortland Sutton to score a touchdown, and I'm on the Browns under 18.5.
I'm on Estime to score a touchdown. It's where did it go? Estime and then Bo Nix and Estime parlay together is now up to about 16-1. You can find that house. Call me and Jerry.
You guys hit it last week, too.
We hit it last week. Estime is plus 360 by himself. So you got that. What do you got?
I got I got Williams, 2 touchdowns
No?
tonight, and the under.
Oh.
It's a big payout. That's my. I was gonna add Njoku to that, and still take the under, but that's getting a little
Yeah,
crazy.
you're getting a little crazy.
I'm gonna do two touchdowns by Williams, and the under, and I'm taking the Browns.
We still got a lot to unpack with the NFL. We'll touch on that tomorrow.
State of the
College
Union
as well.
State
Give
of the
me
Union.
Lakers plus
State of the Union on
tonight
Bama
at
and Duke.
They'll be fine. I think they'll be fine.
One didn't lose to one team was not ranked that someone lost to.
They will be ranked though. That's what changes in feast week. Oregon's a good team.
Oregon's a really good team.
Right-Cell's injury
It's
hurts.
ranked though.
Right-Cell's injury hurts. We're waiting to see the news on that.
R.I.P. Luke Carnesecca.
Oregon's one of my sleepers to make the Final Four.
Duke's gonna play Auburn Wednesday. They're playing the number 1 and number 2 team in the same week.
Big game.
So,
Feast week was
It's
unbelievable.
at Duke, which is
Auburn.
huge.
See, Danny Hurley said he won't play MTEs now.
What a fucking pussy.
That was the
I'm
biggest,
not gonna say
no,
that. He's
was
a friend,
pussy move.
but that's
that was a pussy move.
Come on, Danny. You can't play in an MTE
UConn lost 3 games in a row.
in the Maui. They finished
Just
last
saw it.
place.
I saw it.
Embarrassing.
Dayton
Yeah, it's
didn't
not
just
good.
beat them. They
Yeah,
demoralized
that was
them.
an all-time video, by the way.
It's tough.
So sick.
Thanksgiving Eve at fucking midnight.
Parlaying, going out with my friends where we're just gonna go hard and heavy early. So we're watching like the games from like 5 to 11. I go home, I'm like working on my bus. I'm like, shit, there's an hour and a half till tip.
Your mom had to be so mad.
So, dude, they were so mad
She had
at
to
me.
get up at
really?
5 a.m.
Oh, no.
and start cooking and shit.
I was just screaming, "Go, Dane
no.
Flyers!"
I'd kill. I would literally kick you out of the house if I was your mom.
Oh, they tried. They tried. I was like, I literally have nowhere else to go.
Feast week was good. Maui
Oh.
was unbelievable.
Auburn is,
Auburn's fucking good, man.
dude. I don't know, man. They look the part.
Yeah, they do.
They look they're like the most complete
wait
team.
till the Dukies beat them.
They have a good
lost
game.
2 games and the last possession by both freshmen.
Yep.
It's got to stop spinning.
What do you guys have for pick?
Like
That's-
spinning, they like spinning
does.
into the paint and turning the ball over.
I'm telling you, Marty, it's exactly what I thought was
know.
gonna like. What my biggest issue with Duke winning it all this year has been like the freshmen being the main people at the end of the game. But this also weirdly, I think, helps.
It's
them.
helping them in
Yeah.
a way of like, if you 2 things change, they're undefeated and probably the #1 team in the country. But they did not change, and it's good to learn from it now than in March.
Rhode Island -2.5 against Yale. I think this is Rhode Island's biggest test so far this season. Archie Miller is back, stamping that. He's back. He's a good coach. They moved up like more than any A10 team in the country so far, and like Ken Palm and all the metrics. So Rhode Island -2.5 in their biggest test so far this year.
Phil, what do you got?
Lakers +8 at Minnesota.
Okay.
Mets got a fifth starter, Frankie Montas. That's
Montas.
exciting. Hope he's a fifth starter. If he's not a fifth starter,
Might be a 3 the way we went
that's a
on 1 and
problem.
2 right now.
If he's a 3, then I hate the signing. If he's
Yeah.
a fifth starter, I love the signing.
Alonso is going Yankees too.
We'll see about that.
Other rumblings,
All right, we'll break.
Juan Soto to the Red Sox.
Nah,
Breaking.
I want to say
right.
this.
Sorry,
I want
Mick.
to say I actually, Mick, good for you. Double down, and I was like, "Fuck, is he really going there?" I liked it.
I'm a Mick maniac, but I said until I think he's wrong on this one. But other than that,
You're not a Mick maniac.
What if he's right?
I am a Mick maniac.
Oh, you're not a Mick maniac.
He's right. It's the biggest victory lap of all time.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. All right.
Who got the Bruins coach fired?
Mick.
Mick.
And who said Porzingis was going to start? Mick. But I think this is a little.
We'll see. It's a long one.
different.
It's that's Pick Central. Yaks up rocking now.